RadioShack's got problems. Anybody got answers? This is Mitchell Schnurman with the Dallas Morning News. I'm joined by my colleague, Maria Halkias, who's been covering retail a long time for the newspaper. RadioShack used to have 7,500 stores and 50% profit margins, and it was one of the best-known names in retailing and consumer electronics. Now it's practically on its deathbed. It's been shrinking, bleeding red ink, and customers are just abandoning it. Some people are saying it won't survive. Others are saying it shouldn't survive. Maria, what happened to RadioShack?
Well, it didn't. RadioShack has been sales peaked back in 2005 at about $5 billion, and ever since then their sales have either been flat or shrinking, and a lot of things happen: technology and retail competition. Everyone is in consumer electronics. Everyone is selling wireless phones now, including the big carriers. AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile all have their chains. Best Buy, Walmart, you name it. And technology wiped out a lot of aisles in the RadioShack store.
Right,
it's only been since 2007 that the iPhone has been around. It feels like it's been around forever, and the other smartphones, the Android phones, and they take the place of a lot of gadgets that RadioShack used to sell.
Well, I remember the day when people were selling cell phones out of their trunks of their car. That's how, there was such a disconnect, and RadioShack was flying high. Everyone caught up with them. What about the leadership over there? It seems like they've been out of sorts ever since 2005 when Len Roberts was the CEO and he gave up that position. So what's happened since then? His successor immediately got caught in a scandal for lying on his resume. So what's happened?
They've had 6 CEOs since then, and they can't quite, there's always, there's been different situations that have caused them to be distracted, or the competition just kept accelerating. They were trying different things like kiosks and Sam's Clubs and in Target stores, and those ended up not being money makers for RadioShack.
It just seems like for years people have been saying, is RadioShack relevant still? And I don't think any of the leaders ever really addressed that. Now the current executive, the top executive, came from Walgreens, and he's a real retail veteran. Tell me what you think about what he's been doing.
Well, people really like him, and analysts really like them. They say he may have been hired 2, 3, 4 years too late. He has some great ideas. He's changed 130 stores into current, up-to-date, with ideas like interactive walls where consumers can bring their smartphones and try various headphones to see which they like.
And they're helping the results. I think they've got better sales, but there's only 130 of them out of thousands of stores, so they got a long way to go. I wonder whether specialty retailing can really make it. Pier 1 Imports was on its deathbed not that long ago and recovered. GameStop, another Tarrant County company, is doing well even though it's facing Walmart and Amazon and digital downloads. Are there any lessons from them that we might consider with RadioShack?
Well, Pier 1 focused back on their core business of having home decor that was unique to them, that people couldn't find elsewhere. And the GameStop situation, they saw what had happened to Blockbuster. They did not want to become irrelevant by technology, so they embraced the digital downloads. They're one of the biggest sellers of games sold digitally. They diversified into other types of retail and now compete with RadioShack. They're a big AT&T licensed store operator.
That's right. If you can't beat them, join them. Now we're going to be following this story throughout the day and all week as we see how RadioShack shakes out. This is Mitchell Schnurman and Maria Halkias with the Dallas Morning News.